evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Jen, with Check That Post podcast, and my co-host,
Christina
and Marjorie.
And tonight is part 2 of
whether or not it's okay for your partner to have a friend of the opposite sex. So they already put their 2 cents in like last week, and I was out, so I'm gonna put mine in now. I feel like it depends on the situation. I trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you. That's how I feel about it, and I feel like that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, especially when it comes to people who's already been friends, you know, before like I came in the picture.
Right.
If I find out something in the past happened between y'all or was about to happen, I'm instantly gonna put my wall up, like, because y'all can't be trusted.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely agree. You know, like if y'all done had relations, then you know, you kind of know that you got to cut that off once you get serious with somebody.
Even if you came close to it, I'm just, I'm not looking at you the same, like, I mean, I'm gonna still be nice to you, maybe, but
still gonna think you want my man.
I'm gonna be like, you just waiting for that right time to, you know, have that weak moment. Wait
till you get mad at you.
Or wait till you feeling some type of way, you know how to manipulate him into comforting you. Like, I don't be trusting women that much sometimes. Like,
So really though, y'all, so you really don't think that a man can actually have a female friend and it just be, they just real genuine friends, like no sexual attraction at all?
I'll put it this way, I've never seen it done before. Honestly.
You heard it here first. She said she never seen it.
I haven't. I'm not saying this, I don't think it's possible. I just never experienced that. Like, it's kind of non-existent to me.
I think it's possible. As far as your man, it's whether or not you can trust him. But I do think it is possible.
Yeah.
I think it's very rare, but
definitely
I do think it's possible.
That's a 3%.
Right. I agree. That's a safe number.
But then too, you know, it's how secure you are within yourself. And what you got going on with him, and do you trust him? Like you say, you know. I'm the same way. I trust you till you give me a reason not to.
Right. I try to be like, do you call it like a realist? Like, I really try to be transparent with my thoughts and, you know, give people, even myself, like, grace to feel, you know, ways we're not supposed to feel sometimes. Like, give myself time to process that. So I overthink things a lot. And I'm just like, okay, well, this is a possibility this can happen. But I let myself know that, so I'm like preparing myself mentally. Like, if it do happen, what would I do? Like, so.
Yeah. I definitely, I think it goes both ways too, like not just, you know, that men, because we feel strongly about how men can't, you know, they can't do it, you know, they're not strong enough. But it's the women that's out there that's like that too, like, just can't be trusted, you know, like just anybody that they want, you know, they just gonna go after, no matter who they belong to or who they dealing with or whatever, you know. It's just some people that's out there that's like that, and that's men and women. So
the women be more sneaky though.
Right, definitely.
And I be feeling it, like I be like, nah, she ain't doing that for no reason. Back up.
You're right, though, because women are a little bit more strategic when it comes to
a lot more, like freaking 60%.
Oh my goodness! But men, they'll get it down to a science too now.
Yeah, but theirs is not as emotionally involved. Like women really be
deep.
Right, it'd be like a whole lot
short period of time.
Right. You've been able to imagine your whole life out in about 3 days.
That hurt the wedding bills now.
Exactly.
Oh my God, not the wedding bills.
Oh, I done heard it before.
I've experienced that before, like myself.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I'm not gonna say I fell in love, but it never took me long to figure out how to put my life together mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I be knowing what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't take all that. That's why I be like, nah, she know what she doing. I guess I be assuming like every woman kind of think like me.
Yeah.
Which is probably true, but you
it's
know.
not true.
It's
definitely not true. But you know, when you feel like you're a realist, you know, when you think more rational, I think like for me, I just feel like I like to treat people how I want to be treated, type deal. So like, if that's how I go about my life, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna do something to somebody that I don't want somebody to do to me. You know, I'm not gonna treat nobody a certain type of way, like, cause I know I wouldn't want them treating me like this. So I'm like, I just feel like everybody should be like that. And
I'm like that, but being like that, I found myself too passive with people sometimes. So it's okay to be like that, but like for me, I had to make, and I'm still making boundaries. Like,
yeah, you know, I always have to do that.
Yeah, because if you don't, then people will run over you, walk over you, stomp over you.
Right.
So you definitely have to set boundaries.
I always be wanting to know why. Like, some people just do stuff just to do it. I'd be like, but why did you do that?
Right.
Like, what sparked it? Like,
Right.
how long was this thought brewing in your brain? Like,
some people do things just because they can. And what I always go back to, what you allow will continue. So they will push you, push your buttons just to see if they can push your buttons. And if you don't do nothing, well, why wouldn't they continue? Like, you allow it to go on, so they'll continue to you put a stop to it. That's one of the reasons why. But if you set those boundaries and you make a stand, this is not going to be tolerated, then that it is what it is. Step up or step off. That's my concept. But it don't work like that for everybody. But when you put that out there, you got to be willing to back it up. So
it's not that easy for everyone.
It's really not. I was one of the people that was not easy for me. Mainly because I didn't feel like I had a voice. You know, it took me a long time to get an actual voice for myself. Everybody always thought, you know, I was mean. You know, I was way meaner back then than how I am now. I was mean, but at the same time, I was very passive when it came to, like, I'll say boys, because this is like me in my teenage years or whatever. I was very passive. But now I'm just like, I'm comfortable with voicing my opinion. Like, I don't have to be nasty about it. I can talk just like this. Right. I can just say how I feel.
Right.
And of course, therapy helped me with that. So if y'all are like how I used to be, you know, therapy helps, because I'm like a whole nother woman now. And I'm more confident in speaking up for myself. I'm not going to say I'm 100% confident. Like, sometimes I still get anxiety.
Okay.
But I'll say I'm at least like 85% better than what I used to be. I would have gave myself like 5% confident in the past. It was horrible.
Wow.
So.
Well, that's awesome that you were able to get past that. And girl, that's a blessing. Because some people don't, you know, some people stay there.
It's hard, especially like it depends on. I think it depends on how you were raised, like what you saw, or what you experienced. Like all that plays a factor into
faith, belief, all that.
Especially like with me, we was like complete turn the other cheek. You know, growing up, like I felt like I wasn't allowed to defend myself, so it started from there. You know, trying to practice my faith and stuff. I didn't learn how to like properly stand up for myself, without just showing out and making a fool out of myself.
Gotcha.
So communication is huge.
Oh, definitely.
Use your words. You know, I highly recommend that. Just talk. You don't have to yell.
Right.
I mean, sometimes you might yell. Don't go overboard.
Right.
Like, you really can just talk about it. See how far you get with that.
Well, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what we know today, how society is today, that turn the other cheek thing, how is that working for you? Like, would you?
I've been speaking up.
No, I'm saying like, if somebody so-called insult you, what do you, I mean?
I give it like, okay, if somebody say something slick, it depends on what's going on, you know, with the whole situation and what I was about to do, you know, like, you know how you make a plan to get stuff done, and then you in the middle of getting your first step done, and somebody say something stupid, and you like trying to think, well, should I pop off or just move on? I think about all that in the moment, and I'm like, it just depends on what's going on for me, like whether or not I'm gonna say something.
Because you think about it, because a lot of people don't.
I used to not do that. I didn't, like, but now it's different because I want better for myself, and I don't want to entertain every little thing that might piss me off, because that list can go on, you know. I'd be mad all the time if I did that.
Right.
So, did I answer your question?
You did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm thinking because I know I have like a slow burn. It didn't used to always be that way. Since I married my husband, he kind of calmed me down.
Yep.
And but I do have my level as well. Like if you keep poking a bear,
Right.
like he always say, what he's say all the time, you something you bound to get elected. Is it? I can't remember exactly what it was. But he let me know some in the words, you keep it up, you're going to feel the wrath. So I got a very slow burn. But there are times, and it depends on the situation, like you said, and what it is.
Right.
And depends on what else I got going on, what else is on my mind, that you can say certain things. I'm big on respect.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to just come off on somebody just to be going off on them.
Right.
But there's a way to do everything.
Right.
Tone matters.
Absolutely.
It really, delivery matters.
Absolutely.
So it depends on how you come at me before I just, automatically go there. But if your energy is given,
nasty.
like you want to go there, then we can go there.
Right.
I don't have, everybody has their level.
Right.
But for the most part, I'm pretty cool, calm, and collected. And I can get along with pretty much anybody.
Right.
Me too.
My thing about that though is you don't never know what somebody be going through.
Right.
And like you can come and pop off to somebody and they can pop you dead in your mouth because they pissed off about something that happened before they even came to you.
Right.
You know, so I just be like, you might want to get out my face. Like I will turn the cheek. I will be like, you know what, I'm just gonna get away from you right now, and they usually know to not follow behind me. So
if I get real quiet, please stop talking to me. That's my warning. Like, if I'm quiet and you feel the heat coming off me, I'm about to blow up.
Not the heat coming off of you.
Like, I'm telling you, I will shift the whole room if you piss me off. Like, it take a lot to get me there.
Right.
In the past, it used to be like that, but now it take a lot to get me there. But if I get to that point and everybody just like walking on eggshells and I'm just quiet, don't say nothing else to me. Just leave me alone. I just be needing time. Like.
Yeah.
So, I guess the next thing I didn't want to pull us off the subject. No, sorry, my bad. We're just over here just going on. But okay, we was talking about what about
work boo?
the work boo?
Oh, okay.
Honestly, like I feel like I've never had a work boo. I've seen other people have a work boo, and if I hear that you're already in a committed relationship, I think it's absolutely disgusting.
Right.
I don't support it at all.
Right.
So that's my standpoint on that. You're nasty.
Oh my God. So I do think it's okay to have a work boo as long as you're single.
Right. Be single.
If you're in a relationship, no, you shouldn't have no damn work boo.
You need to be the one walk around, put a picture of your family in your locker or on your computer. Talk about your family in a positive way. Well, this is another thing I hate. I don't like when people go to work and they're just like completely downgrading their significant other. Like it's especially if like you're a part of the problem, like you are the problem, and you pointing the whole thing. I think that's disgusting.
It is. It definitely is. I think sometimes the workplace though is a place where people go and vent. And,
it is, but it's a way you do it, though.
Right, absolutely. And then it's, who you doing it to, like you doing it to somebody at work. This ain't your homeboy, this ain't your friend, this is your coworker, like, and you just sitting here telling your business and your spouse's business, So I think, no, if you're in a relationship, no work boos. Your only boo should be your mate.
Right, and if you ain't happy with that, sort that out at home first. Get single first, then come to work and look for a boo.
Right.
Because you being unfair not only to the person at work, but your person at home, and to yourself.
Right.
Like, get your stuff together.
Right. Yeah.
Do you think that they can? Well, how can a person have a whole life at home and then go to work and live another life?
I can't tell you the science of that because I don't know. Me personally, I don't have the energy to have a whole nother life.
Be
like,
pretending.
Right, I don't.
Half the day, like for 8 hours or 12 hours.
I feel like you cool, but you just cool. Like, I have my family. If I was in that position. But honestly, when I be at work, people don't even be talking to me on that level. I guess it's my demeanor or something. I just don't entertain it. I don't put off the vibe that I want that from you. Like, I'm here to do my job.
Exactly.
You can talk about the job, or your kids or something. If we're talking positively about your wife, that's fine, but I'm not gonna be here all in your face, hee hee ha ha.
Right.
You're not funny.
I'm married, get out my face.
Exactly. Like, where's that part at again?
Right there.
Yeah, it's a big no for me.
Yeah.
So, is that all we got on that?
Did you say? How you
you see me saying, yeah, I'm the same. I pretty much work is work. And that's, I leave work at work. When I come home, I'm on the home. So it's like a light switch. Switch on, switch off. Switch on, switch off. When I clock in, I switch on. When I clock out, I switch off. And that's where I leave it. And no, I don't have no work boo. My work boo is in there. Okay, are y'all ready for Christmas?
But I gotta wrap the presents, but other than that, I think I'm ready.
Okay.
You said kind
Almost.
Okay. Got some more shopping?
I'm ready to start cooking. Like,
Are you?
not cooking, but like the little desserts and stuff. Like I seen a bunch of stuff on TikTok.
Okay.
So,
I'm ready for you to run it too, you had.
Oh, I got you, girl. I got you. I got you.
Well, I guess I'm about there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for fun and games.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
So speaking of, now is the time of year where family get together. We have the 8th year gin letter concerning that.
Okay.
All delayed. Dear Gina, I would love to hear advice on how to improve and heal from strained relationships with parents. How do you move forward and build healthy relationships with kids of your own after experiencing such traumatic events such as the lack of support, sympathy, and love from your parents?
My first thought is just accept your feelings for what they are, first and foremost. Acknowledge that you're hurt, like you hurt your feelings, because that matters and it's the truth.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you gotta be the bigger person, because you can't, force people to change.
Right.
But you can also, if you can't get to a point where you can reconcile with your family, you can always create your own village.
Right.
To fill that void for yourself. So
I totally agree. I totally agree with that. And also, I would just say use that as fuel. My dad wasn't in my life, so I just kind of use that as like, I know the way I felt about that, and I know that I wouldn't want my kids to feel the way that I felt.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what made me be the mom that I am today, because I'm just like, I never want my kids to feel like that. I'm going to do everything in my power to not make them feel like I felt. So I would just use that to try to be everything that you didn't like about, or everything that happened that you didn't like, just try your best not to be like that, and to show your children, that it's a different way. They don't have to, go through the same things that you went through. Just try to make sure that things are different for them, so that they don't have to go through those same feelings and thoughts and stuff that you might have had when you were growing up. So that's my take on it.
Well, my take on how to improve a strained relationship with parents is, for me, I would say do everything possible on your end to try to fix whatever the issue is. Let go of pride, let go of ego, and do whatever it takes, because your parents are your parents. You only get one. Well, I won't say you only get one set, because I was a stepmom. But your natural parents, you only got one.
Right.
And it doesn't matter, at the end of the day, when they leave here, it doesn't matter what it was. Try to fix it now while they're still here. In other words, give them their flowers while they're still here. Whether it's your fault or their fault, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, how big of an issue is it when at the end of the day, it's your parents.
Right. And that's not going to change.
That's not going to change.
what if going around them just like really triggers trauma and they're not changing? What do people do in that situation? Because I feel like with that case, forgive them internally without closure on their end, but at the same time, I don't think I would encourage somebody to keep going around somebody that's like really triggering them and not trying to change. Like at what point is like do you create a boundary and just accept the fact, like, this is not going to be any different?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, if, like I said, they do whatever's possible on their end.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And after they do what they can do, they can fall back.
Right.
Knowing that they tried.
Yeah, then they
Right.
Okay, yeah.
But at least try. Do everything in your power.
Yeah.
And then, if you got kids, let them see what they missing out on. They don't want to accept you or your children.
Right. That's on them.
That's on them. Ain't much more you can do from that.
Yeah, at least you tried.
Yeah.
I know I had a strained relationship with my mom for a while, due to something that happened to me when I was young, and I felt like I wasn't protected. And as the years I got older, it stayed with me to a point I had to let it go because it kept showing up in my life. I thought I had let it go. I thought I had healed from it, but I hadn't. And it kept showing up. And but me and her relationship now is a whole lot better. We speak maybe 3 times a week, maybe even more. We go out to eat. We sometimes go shopping. You know, sometimes we just sit around, talk, and watch movies. Falling asleep on the phone with each other. So it can be done. You know, just, you know, like I said, do what you can on your end.
Right.
And hope for the best. Because you can't make nobody be something that they're not.
Right. Absolutely.
So I hope that helps.
Yeah. Alright.
Anybody got anything else?
No.
We got a few more minutes left.
I mean, I can kind of relate to the strain on the relationship with the mother. Like, I had the same with mine. And honestly, it wasn't until I got pregnant with my first child, that's when I started to really appreciate my mom. I think when I was younger, I blamed her for something, probably. And when I was younger, I was very hateful and mean, and my mom was like super nice and sweet, like all the time. So it would get on my nerves. I'm like, why are you so happy? Like,
oh my goodness.
I guess that like measure.
I guess you don't know.
I think I told her. I think we haven't talked about it like we knew our relationship had a strain. You know, I don't remember if I told her because it's been so long ago. And I'm 30 now, but
30 on me now.
Just it was hard. Like I didn't know how to love her, like or how to accept her personality because it was so different from mine. Like when she would go around just being so loving and kind to people that hurt her, because she wasn't like. To me, it felt like, why aren't you checking them? I would get pissed off at her, and it would make me shut down because I thought that being nice was weak, but really being nice is showing strength. Anybody can go off. Anybody can lack self-control.
Right. Yeah.
But it took me years to figure out the real strength comes from control. Like that's the strength. So the whole time I was looking at her like she was weak, I was the one that was weak, and I'm walking around thinking I know everything, and I didn't know nothing. So, for kids out there who I don't even know if the kid gonna be watching this, honestly, but you know, if you have a kid, like if you're a mom and you bump heads with your daughter all the time, sit down and try to talk to them. Or if you can't, like my mom, she used to try to talk to me and we wouldn't get nowhere. But she kept trying to find other people to talk to me when she couldn't get through to me. And I responded well to strong-minded people. Not saying my mom wasn't strong-minded, but she wasn't like like aggressive.
Right.
I wanted aggression when I was younger. So just pay attention to your kid. Like, just because that's your kid doesn't mean y'all gonna act exactly the same. We're still individual people.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you can't reach your child, you know, and affect them in a way to where they feel comfortable talking to you, take the initiative as a mom to go find somebody you trust to talk to your child for you, and then maybe you can get a better understanding of your child. You know, you never know what it happens
or what they're going through that they're not comfortable with or not able to express that to you. Sometimes it's harder to express stuff to your parents, you know,
especially if they already like triggering, you know, something in you, even if it wasn't your fault. Like, I think for a little bit with one of my daughters, I was having a hard time understanding her, you know, because she kind of reminded me of my mom. Like, she's super nice, super kind, and whatever. And I would look at it as, stop seeking attention from everybody. Like, it would piss me off. I'm like, you got enough. That's enough. But she just felt like, I just want to be loved. So I'm still trying to, you know how some people talk about love languages? That applies to kids too. Everybody has their own love language. Mine is different from, you know, one of my daughters, but I had to make myself, you know, stop being so bullheaded and learn her as a person. And that helped our relationship a whole lot. I'm allowing her to be her without shutting her down. And same with my mom.
Right. And it sounds like that's where she got it from.
It could be, because both of them are so nice. You know, I've learned to appreciate it now.
Right.
But in the past, I used to be like,
hey, how's your night? Good.
Right.
Like, what you so happy for?
It's alright. Dang. I ain't win a lotto or nothing.
I had to go to work today.
It's another day at school.
Well, we hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Check That Post podcast. You can write in at checkthatpostpod@gmail.com or text 866-311-2251. And tune in every Thursday at 7:30 for another episode and good conversations.